So, you feeling like your energy consistently is being hijacked, or you got energy vampires all around you? Well, this is the video for you because we're going to get to it where nothing and no one can take your vibe. Okay, so here we are. Walking through life, minding our business, and all of a sudden somebody triggers us. And the trigger is real important to recognize because the way people are hijacking your energy is real simple. It goes to that quote, wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. So I want us to become super aware. Are people really hijacking our energy? Are they really energy vampires, or are we actually giving it to them? And to be quite clear, you are giving it to them because you are a powerful being beyond measure. Your energy is yours. And if you want to take it back, then where your attention goes, right? You have to start taking back your power in that way. And let me just tell you, the reason that this is happening all over the planet all the time and it's not talked about widely because this is hard. It's hard work. It's hard to take your attention away from things that are triggering you, period. We get stuck there. And that's the ultimate karmic loop. It is the sin that Jesus talks about. And so when we talk about Jesus dying for our sins, what he's really saying is, I showed you the way out. It was hard, but I did it. I died for your sins to show you the way, the path, the good news. And this is it right here. We are mind. Everything is mind. And so if our mind is attaching to something, then we are channeling our energy to it, and dependent upon how intense the emotional reaction to what they did, the emotional trigger, is how much energy we're channeling to that person. And so do energy hijackers or vampires exist? Yes. Do they purposely do it? Yeah. But a lot of times it's unconscious. It's just the energy exchange that we're used to doing depending on our patterns. So let's get to it, because these soul contracts right now, they're to help us heal exactly this. So what do I mean by these soul contracts are here to heal this? What I mean is, if you have an energy vampire in your life and you're feeling hijacked or depleted by them whenever they're around, or you think of them, or list goes on, you are matched up with this person because they're a taker and you're a giver. The taker isn't wrong and the giver's not wrong. So let's just demolish that, because anytime that we're looking for that these energy vampires or narcissists or energy hijackers are, then we're giving away the power that we're trying to take back. We can't just brush it off with a Band-Aid label. We have to literally understand that there is something in us that is funneling our energy to this person. And the soul contracts right now are helping us, because let me just tell you, if you have somebody that's an energy vampire and you can't get them out of your head and all your energy is flowing to them and your life is getting shittier, because we need a lot of power to live this life, right? This contract's perfect for both of you, because the minute you start to be able to, which is going to take a lot of self-realization, self-awareness, and a lot of conscious effort to pull your mind away from them, then they're going to feel it for the first time maybe in their whole lives. Because you taking back the power from them, and everybody's starting to do that, then we're going to start balancing out where everybody's going to keep their own energy and stop this toxic back and forth of energy and just get fully in our own power. And then we get everybody in the planet on our own power, and that's how we become the light. And then we start to live in a higher dimension of reality. Yeah. So how do we do it? Okay. It's real easy in a nutshell, but the actual work is the most incredibly challenging thing ever. Yeah. So let's just say the easy thing in a nutshell. It goes back to, again, where your attention goes, your energy flows. And I don't want you to think that you have excuses for giving your attention to things. The hyper-focused on why he didn't call, or the hyper-focused on why he's posting pictures on the internet with another lady, the hyper-focused on stalking social media to see what this person's doing, hyper-focused on your boss who said a certain thing and looked at you a certain way before you left, hyper-focused on why your kids aren't doing well, and hyper-focused on, just all these things that we give our attention to that are draining our energy. This is why self-realization and self-awareness is so important, because then we can dictate when we become super aware of where we get hooked in. And we say why, and we start to realize why and start to contend with that. This is the level up, y'all, right there. Being awake isn't just pointing out all the bad stuff. Those people are probably having a shitty life. Because if you're pointing out all the bad stuff, you're depleting all your energy to really crappy low-dimensional things. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Nothing worse than a woke person pointing out the darkness. The darkness is important on this planet, just like the light is. This is a playground of learning through contrast. So let's get rid of that. Hopefully you're not. I don't think that anybody's doing that would watch this channel, because this is about growth and self-awareness and being really awoke, because the real woke is being self-realized. So why do certain things hook us in, though, that our mind just can't let go of? And that's the key, y'all, because that's the universe is partnering you with somebody that you can't get out of your mind, because that's the number one energy leak, the hijack. So there's got to be somebody on the other end to receive it. Don't get me wrong. There's energy vampires. Screw them. In my little rant. But we need them, because then they're helping us understand, because they have a wound too that makes them want that attention, that energy to feel good about themselves. So we'll just leave that there. But why is that a certain thing? And there's so many other reasons for so many different other people, but mine was rejection. If I felt rejected, I had a hierarchy of how I would deal with it, and it was such a shit show in my head, to the point that as I started to get older, I didn't even want to leave my house or go into any social circumstances or any of my career circumstances. I did not want to feel the sting of rejection, because it would set my mind, because I had given so much momentum to the hypercritical focus of rejection and the hierarchy of my analysis, that it was such a strong energy leak. I recognized it without becoming self-aware. I just recognized that I'm super triggered. My energy's low. I get depressed. I stay at home. I cry in my bed, all these things. And so then I was just closing down. So then the universe provided me with somebody that I couldn't run from. And I did run physically. And this is something I teach very hardcore on the line. You think you can just block people and stop talking to them, but if they live in your heart and mind, they're teaching you something. And he sure did. He helped me with all my rejection wounding, because he helped me claw my way out of giving it my attention. And then I got my level up. See, so these energy hijacks are super important, because they teach us our resilience. They teach us not to give our attention to things. They teach us to keep all of our power. They teach us to stay in our lane, which just means stay on our path. And these things that are pulling us off attention-wise, the outer world has very little relevancy to this. It's really what we're doing internally in our mind and our heart. So now that we kind of got an understanding of what we're doing and how we're letting people hijack our energy, and I'm not giving them a freaking ticket to they're not the problem. They definitely are, but we can only be responsible for us. And so now we got to work on how do we unhook ourselves from this energy hijack, from these energy vampires. How do we stop giving that attention flow of energy? And that's the key. So step one is going to be something that I learned from Abraham. I'm a little bit a dabble in everything. So except for my main only teacher for the path is Jesus, in a metaphysical way, not religious. But Abraham said something very key that helped me so much. She said, when you can't pull your mind from something, the biggest thing you have to do is recognize that you're stuck there, because we go to sleep to it. We're not realizing, like, you could be like mind going through your day, you know, you're cooking dinner and you're just like, ooh, let me go get the garlic. And then all of a sudden 10 minutes later, you realize I was thinking about this stupid ass. So she's very clear. Well, they're very clear that the first step is to really just recognize that you're doing that. You're going to sleep in a thought pattern of analysis or whatever it is that's keeping that attention there. And so then you recognize it. Step one, pretty easy. But then step two, which was really hard for me, I could recognize I was doing it, but I couldn't stop myself. I would be like, ooh, let me distract myself with TV. Let me, you know, read a book, this and that. And all I was doing is looking at the page and thinking. So she said, you have to listen intently to something that has absolutely no emotional charge to it. So even listening to my kid would have an emotional charge, just so you understand what I mean. Because let's say I'm like, oh, let me go listen to my kid. And then she's talking about the bully at school. And then I'm re-triggering in a whole new thing. So something without an emotional charge. And she said she listened to the air conditioner when she was in office buildings, because that's where she spent a lot of her time. And so for me, it was ceiling fans. Yeah, because I have them in every room in my house. And this helped me so much. And the first time I recognized it really helped me is when I was going through a hard time and I would wake up at night and I would start thinking, so then I would be up. And so then I was like, no, listen to the ceiling fan. So as soon as I would start to become conscious at night, I would listen to the ceiling fan and be like, ooh, listen to that hum. And I felt my brain trying to take me back to looping and the stuff it wanted to think about. But I just kept reinvesting in the fan. And before you knew it, I fell asleep. And the next morning I was like, yes! Seriously. And so then it became my big thing, because I'm like, oh my God, this works. And, you know, I've taught many people this in coaching, in life, this, that, nobody wants to do it. They don't get it. They don't understand how it's important. And I didn't either. But I'm telling you right now, you have to shift your mind to listen to something so intently. So when I'm listening to the ceiling fan, I'm listening to the different hums of the vibration. Oh, can I pick out a little rhythm on this? Getting real deep into the fan. So you have to find something to listen to. At first, I was trying to do it with just looking, like, ooh, look, pretty bird. And then I would start analyzing the bird and this and that. No, you really need to hear and, you know, get into it and really shift your focus, your attention. And so I love that from her, but then it also springboarded me into understanding something that Eckhart Tolle said, which was, as soon as you recognize that you are basically falling asleep into a mind pattern and you pull yourself out of it, even for 1 second, 1 millisecond, you're breaking the momentum of that pattern. And there is no greater truth than that. I stayed on that ceiling fan thing, and I've healed myself from being snagged into thinking about certain people or situations, or especially when somebody rejected me. I tried to give my daughter a hug before school, and she looked at me and she just left. Let me go listen to the ceiling fan. But seriously. So where attention goes, energy flows, y'all. So I really hope this video helped you, because I don't want us to have any of this energy hijacking anymore. And we keep trying to fix it outside. Let me go tell this fool about himself. Let me tell my daughter about herself. Let me do this. Let me analyze how I should do it. Let me all this energy leak. Go listen to the fan. Break up the momentum. Because at the end of you getting mastery over your mind, and that's what it's doing, you're saying, no, I'm not going to get hooked into this and be on a loop. I'm going to break up the momentum, get out of this monotonous way I've been structuring how I handle rejection. And before you know it, you are master of your mind. Oh, that person rejected me? Let me not even care. And I don't know what your thing is, but these tips will work for whatever your thing is, because it's about mastering where your attention goes and where it gets hooked in, where it gets stuck. And then you're depleting your energy on these mental patterns. And before you know it, you're laying in your bed with no energy. Okay, so get on it. Let me know if this works for you. And if you like the video, please like, share, subscribe. And until next time, take care.